Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the very first episode of Chit Chat with Tico. So I'm Tico, and pretty much I just wanted to start a channel where I just talk about literally whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And I have a lot of thoughts that jumble through my ginormous head, and sometimes I just feel like I can just rant and rave, and what better way to do that than on camera for all the internet to see, where I can be judged, picked apart, and told that my opinions are stupid. Let's get started. I'm not really sure what the fuck I want to talk about today. I just didn't have anything to fucking do today, so I thought that maybe you should like film something and get off your ass and do something. I put on a t-shirt, took a shower, set up my camera, and that was my idea of getting off my ass. I think my first episode, I want to talk about long distance relationships. Now, I feel like in the age of this new pandemic of Miss Corona herself coming in and fucking everything up, long distance relationships are now the new normal. I personally am in a long distance relationship with my husband. Yes, you heard that correctly. My husband lives here like 50% of the time and then lives where he works another 50% of the time. And I'm not gonna say where he works or what he does because it's none of your motherfucking business. Just know that he's gone a lot of the time. I'm the type of person that I really like my space. Don't like being told what to do. I like being able to do whatever the fuck I want to do when I want to do it. So having somebody that is gone a lot of the time and then comes back is actually pretty fucking ideal for me because I'm a sociopath and I don't know how to commit to people, but I get, married. He's gone a lot of the time, so when he's gone, I feel like we take that time to really like do whatever it is that we need to do to kind of fulfill ourselves. Like for me, it's, getting off my ass and filming videos or going to the gym or sleeping until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Literally anything that just resets me. Also, I work a shit ton. That kind of keeps me busy. And then my husband's career, he's gone all the time and he works the entire time that he's gone. He really takes that time to like focus on himself. He has his own brand that he's working on and stuff like that. So it really does give us time to like reset. Now, when he comes back, it's time for us to really get into the things that make us happy together as a couple. So we go on dates, we watch our favorite shows. We try not to do those things like when we're not together. So like right now we're watching Demon Slayer for all my anime heads out there, and I like do not watch those fucking episodes when we're not together because that's like a thing that me and him do. I don't eat certain places. Like In-N-Out is our jam. I don't go to In-N-Out when he's not here, and I get like genuinely offended when he goes to In-N-Out when he's where he's at. We just really choose to like make sure that the time that we spend together is literally time for us to be together. A lot of people think that like long distance relationships, like the physical act of being together 24/7 is super important in a marriage or in a relationship or whatever, and I could completely disagree. My generation, I was born in '94, so I'm 26. And I just feel like we're just not as conventional as like my parents' generation. We're not as cutthroat as like the younger generation, like Gen Z, because my brother-in-law, my younger brother, literally can't even hold a conversation with the opposite sex. I just feel like we're like right in the middle. Like we're not too, we need to get married, we need to have kids, we need to do this. And then we're not too like, oh, I'm fucking do whatever I want to do. And I'm like, no, I don't know what I want to do. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a weird space to be in. I feel like older people look at my relationship and my marriage and they're like, what do you mean he's gone all the time? What do you mean you don't go with him? Well, what do you mean you want to do whatever you want to do? Like, fucking mind your business, I feel like this is like a relatable thing for a lot of people my age, that trying to find that balance of like being free enough to pursue whatever it is that you want to do, but also like being able to commit emotionally and like sexually, just like all the other things that relationships require, and like that being the new normal in the middle of a huge pandemic that no one is taking seriously. So I feel like people are like having to deal with the idea of being separated from their significant other for long periods of time. I don't know how the average person is reacting to that. Prior to being married, I was always told, or prior to this relationship that I'm in now, I was always made to believe that if I wanted to be in a serious relationship, then I had to be with that person all the time. I had a lot of like commitment issues as far as like trust and understanding that like people aren't horrible and like aren't gonna cheat and be crazy and be weird if I'm not with them all the time. This is the first time that I've ever been in a relationship where I'm like secure enough to understand that my husband, literal husband, lives in a completely different state and a completely different, like, I couldn't even drive to him if I want to. Like 50% of our relationship, and understanding that that's okay. Communication is the #1 fucking thing. If you can't communicate with your partner about things that fucking bother you, then you don't need to be in a relationship at all. I'm not gonna say that me and my husband got together and we just were like totally in tune with our feelings and we could totally be like, this bothers me. We were very passive aggressive. We had a lot of issues as far as like communication and stuff, and you learn it as you like are with somebody who's worth learning that kind of thing about. Every other relationship before that, I could literally have fucking cared less. You learn how to talk about your own issues and not push your issues onto your significant other because they don't know how to like read you. I think that's another thing that, and I could be wrong, not all fucking women are like this, but I know, and I'm speaking from being a woman and being in multiple different relationships, different kinds of relationships. You know, I've dated women, I've dated men, I've been like super single, I've been super exclusive, and I've been in open relationships. So I've literally been in every type of fucking relationship you could ever fucking think of. What the fuck was it? Where was I going with this? Oh, being a woman. I feel like I can be very passive aggressive. And that is so annoying that I live up to that fucking stereotype because I hate being an accurate representation of a fucked up stereotype. But it's true, I'm crazy. Drop little hints and like a little trail of what my fucking feelings are and then like make my significant other guess what it is. And then like getting mad that they don't guess right when literally as an adult I could just be like, this is what's bothering me. That whole game of like trying to make your significant other or your partner guess what the fuck is wrong with you. Like, grow the fuck up. Fucking say what's on your mind, you know? And when you're in a long distance relationship, you have to grow the fuck up and you have to say what's on your mind, because if you're not physically there to throw that passive aggressive ass attitude that you have embedded in you, then you need to use your words. You need to use your words and you need to say, I fucking hate when you do this. This bothers me. And then once you get down learning how to identify what the fuck is wrong with you and then present it to the person that you're dating, you also have to watch how you say those things. So you opened it up aggressively. You opened it up and you said, I fucking hate that you did X, Y, and Z. You can't just fucking charge forward. You have to sit back, you have to relax, you have to analyze, am I really mad about this or am I bored? Because that's another thing. When you're not with your significant other every fucking day, you are bored. You're by yourself, you're bored. And so what do you do when you're fucking bored and you're in a relationship? You pick a fight. And that's just the reality of the situation. I feel so bad because I feel like if people watch this and they're like, actually I'd never do that, you're a psycho ass bitch, then that's what I am. Long distance relationships are super tough. You have to understand that being in a relationship period is a give and take. You give 50% and you take 50%. If all you're doing is taking, then obviously you need to reevaluate who you are in your relationship. Things are almost heightened when you live in a situation where you are away from your significant other for long periods of time. Now, let's talk about the juicy stuff of being in a long distance relationship. And yes, I'm talking about sex. I don't know why I had to be so aggressive about that. Mom or dad, if you're watching this, just fucking go away. Like, you have content geared towards your age group and this isn't it. Sex is important in any relationship. Now, if those views don't match up with your views, then like get the fuck out of this video, because literally anything I say after this probably is gonna either annoy the fuck out of you or you're gonna think that I'm repulsive. So I would just click out. Give you a second to do that. Okay, now that the fucking children are out of here, let's talk about sex. It's important to keep that like those vibes going, you know what I mean? Because if not, one, you're gonna be expected to have insane rabbit sex when you and your partner do reunite. And don't get me wrong, sometimes we love it. But then also, speaking from a woman's point of view, sometimes like she cannot participate in those types of games for long periods of time. Sometimes she's tired. Sometimes I just want to lay down and watch The Office with you because I've missed you. Like, I don't want to be railed for 45 minutes for like 5 rounds. Sometimes that is like exactly what I need to just get back to the game of that is called life. But sometimes she is not down for that. You have to keep things, you have to spread it out. You know what I mean? You're nasty. Fulfilling sexual desires, I don't know, like just like keeping your man or woman happy in the time that you're away. Now, does that mean that you have to become like an OnlyFans creator and start like pumping out content and sending all types of crazy shit? No, because that's super unrealistic. Some of you bitches make it hard for the normal people like me because I can't do that. At least having conversations. Baby, I miss you. Baby, I wish that you were here to do X, Y, and Z. Reminding them that you do think about them in a sexual way and you do miss them and you do miss being physical with them, and you know, like you can't wait to see them. I don't know, it can go one or two ways. You can either like do that so much to where you like ramp it up to where when they come home it's like fucking full on like crazy shit, or it's like, okay, like we don't have to go so crazy because it's like we do this even when I'm not here. Like I said, Miss Rona, she's out here, she's on a rampage, she's not fucking around. So people are separated, and I think that it's really like kind of eye-opening on the type of person that you are, because when quarantine first happened, I went through like a full-blown depression. Wow, this just got really sad. Living in a house full of roommates, I was with people 24/7, like almost to the point that I like couldn't even process my own thoughts because I was with people so much. And then all of a sudden, everyone went home, everyone was gone, everyone wanted to be with their families, and I was completely by myself. My husband was training for work, and he was gone for like 6 weeks, and I was completely alone, and it was so scary because that was when like the corona madness was like super blown up, which it still fucking should be, because now I live in Las Vegas and no one gives a fuck here, and it fucking blows my mind. Originally being in California during the time that corona hit, it was really scary. I was in a mental space to be able to be like, oh, well, I'm gonna go visit my friends, or oh, I'm gonna, you know, go over to a friend's house and drink. Fucking going out and like hanging out with people was the furthest thing from my mind when COVID first hit. I felt like being alone, I wasn't really okay with that. And even though like I've always looked at myself as like a super independent person and not really giving a fuck about like having to like entertain people for long periods of time, you realize how full of shit you are about that idea when you actually are forced to not be around people. Understanding that it's okay to be like by yourself and like being content with being by yourself and how you spend your time and how you think about your life when you're like by yourself is super important. And then everything kind of comes after that. Once COVID hit and I was like super aware of like the type of feelings I had about being alone, I fucking got that shit under lock and key, figured out how to make myself happy, moved the fuck out of the town that I was in because that was a major key in my depression. Just like figured shit out. And am I saying that like everybody has that option? No. You know, some people have to fucking deal with fucked up shit all the time, every day, and can't really change those circumstances. So I totally understand that. But you just really have to like get yourself out of that fucking sad hole that you can fucking bury yourself in. I don't know, like figure out things that make you happy aside from people. Depending on people can be a really, really fucked up thing. You put so much strain and so much force on the people around you that you really become like that bitch. Damn, that bitch doesn't know how to fucking be by herself. It can still be very, 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 very fucking hard and draining on the people that you latch onto. Don't be like that, you know? Like I know it's way easier fucking said than done because I have huge codependency issues sometimes, or I did in my past. Like, sit down, look at yourself and be like, why am I fucking feeling this way? What can I do to make me not feel that way? And fucking go with it. And like I'm a very sporadic person. I'll think of something and I'm like, oh, yep, this is what's fucking bothering me. This is what's gonna make me happy. I'm gonna do this. And then I like dive super hard into that. And then I'm sad again. And then I'm like, okay, that didn't work. Oh, I like this. Like, I'm gonna do this, and this is gonna make me happy. And then it's like a never-ending thing of like trying things and then them failing and then stopping and then trying things and then failing and then stopping. It really just depends on you as a person, and everybody is different. I'm just speaking from my experience. And for some reason we like got on this fucking tangent and now we're not even talking about long distance relationships anymore. Moving to the pace of like your own desire and your own, what the fuck am I saying? I need a break. I don't know how people fucking do this for hours, like just listen to themselves talk. I feel like I'm actually kind of going crazy. Gotta wet the whistle. I heard my boss say that one time that he had to wet his whistle and he took a sip of water, and I was like actually super disgusted, but now I say it every single time I drink water, so. Stay hydrated, people. This is so weird. Basically, the point of this entire video is that relationships are hard. Not just long distance relationships, but relationships in general. Relationships you have with a significant other, relationships you have with friends, and relationships that you have with yourself. We are in a position where we literally are navigating these types of relationships for the first time in this way. Being in a pandemic, there really is no right or wrong for how you deal with any of these relationships. So you basically just have to do the best you fucking can. Pull your head out of your ass, focus on your feelings, figure out what it is that makes you feel sad, what it is that makes you feel happy, and make sure that you're not doing the things that make you sad and that you're doing the things that make you happy. Codependency, like I said earlier, can be a big strain on a friendship or a relationship. So make sure that you're taking the time to really nurture yourself so that way you can nurture your friendships and your relationships. This was a fucking hard episode. I am not used to fucking talking into a camera for long periods of time. I actually was like editing my video and then I realized that I had no fucking like conclusion to the rant that I went on. So I had to refilm the ending and make sure that I like stated what the fuck I was even talking about the entire video. I literally don't know how I even am gonna choose content. I usually just get like really passionate about things and then I fucking want to talk about them, and then so now when I get into those like modes where I'm like, oh, this is like really triggering me and I really want to fucking talk about this, I'll just sit in this beautiful comfy chair in front of my beautiful picture wall, turn on my camera, and just fucking go for it, I guess. Make sure you guys subscribe, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.